What's up? I'm Grizz. Welcome. Episode 11, Season 1 finale, link click. Very, 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 very excited to see kind of how they capped this off. I really wish I could have watched this yesterday and just back to back with 10, but I didn't. Honestly, kind of glad I didn't because I even now don't fully understand. I feel like everything that was kind of happening. I think I have a little bit better of an understanding, but not to the level that I wish I did. So I think being able to rewatch it while editing definitely helped, but at the same time, it's still not where I want to be, but that's okay. We're just going to go into this and I'm going to have some fun and enjoy this. If you're interested at all, at the end of the discussion of this episode specifically, I'm just going to give my overall thoughts, opinions, a rating, everything like that about this first season. There'll be a timestamp to that in the description if you just want to skip along to that, or if you just want to watch the whole thing, it'll come up eventually. The only thing I'm like sold on like 1,000,000% here is the idea that Emma ended up killing herself regardless, and the other guy like still had nothing to do with it. Or he might have had something to do with it the second time when we changed things originally, but no longer anymore. Regardless, she's going to be dead because she already is. Where else we're going to go from here, I really have no idea, but I'm very, very happy and excited to see. If you like it all, the like and subscribe to me a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Please leave any comments about this episode or series, though. Let's get going. Episode 11. Also, my camera's been like really laggy the past few days, and I am struggling to figure out why right now. So I'm working on something with that. So if I start like lagging like crazy here, I'm sorry. I'm trying.
我有个大胆的猜想，和他有约的。
Who did it?
不会就是我。
Yeah.
说那条诡异的短信应该也是你给自己。
Yeah. That's what I was thinking last week. That's what I thought. Or last episode. It still fucks up my head, but it made sense last night when I was doing this.
线索，引发他的好奇，将他带入去。
I like that we're bringing this back though. Last week allowed for such like a dramatic moment for us to be able to see how this unfolded, and now be able to bring it back and make more sense.
进门。你还挺守时啊。
So he's gonna go in there thinking that there's somebody through that door. Got it. So we're tracking him directly in here.
这些，
Yeah. So he was prepping it the whole time too.
可
It
真
was
是太不
so
容易
cool.
但还有个问题，即使能抓到和我们通话的人，但又怎么证明他就是连环凶犯呢？这是计划里最
Yeah, this part I don't even have a clue. This is the part I wanna know. My last time with the OP. I've been listening to this a lot as well. Is it bad? I kind of hope that they just keep it for the second season. They won't though. I'm wondering if this is going to be rather tame. Like the episode might be a little chaotic for the first like half of it and then calm down a lot, because a lot of times they end seasons doing stuff like that, or if they're going to really just throw some shit at us and we're going to be like, what the fuck? I think that would be more fun, but not going to be mad either way. Trap the mans in the room. This is such a cool moment when it happens. Like the moment he claps back and gets in there with them is so cool to me.
有趣，如果我赢了，你能答应做我的新好友吗？
我不会。
The new friend part I still don't get, but that's okay. Ensuring her safety is the part that scares me, because we're gonna really fuck shit up.
那么，游戏
Let's go.
真的是你，那天的目击者。
They locked him in a room, and Buddy has a knife. Huh. But he has fighting skills. He learned them from the master.
才不会做那么没有价值的事呢。
Nice. We pack a nice punch. You know, he's wearing a mask.
天，
Oh. That's why he has all the photos on the wall, so he can constantly flash in and out here.
他们贴满暗房，我就能借此来回穿梭，来无影去无踪。一个追求完美犯案的人，怎么受得了我这般戏耍？
Meaning there's somebody or something that he doesn't want things to happen to. So if we have so many of these damn photos, we're bound to find the connection to him in some sort of way, maybe.
手短，板子进容易把脸拍大。还是你来，你来。大猪头，你在那儿发什么呆呢？
And then we're back, yep. Cool, dude. That's so cool.
我做错了什么？
What did I do wrong? You killed people. Just because they talk shit about you on the internet doesn't mean that you can fucking kill them.
你爸妈催婚催得这么急，你都挺淡定的。
Ah.
照片背后都是被你毁掉的一半。
Ah, that's where it is. It's so cool though. Look at him.
受害者们又做错了什么？
通过看守，
So I just gotta stop his hands somehow, yeah. That's dangerous if somehow he can do some shit here.
他们小念强，我老喜欢发东西到网上。
Share the experience with others.
这就是你不要老是把闺女给你买的那件名牌毛衣啊，穿身上到处显摆啊！
Yeah.
哪能一样？我这就小反。
It's basically the same. Poor Emma.
我夺一个人的生命，就是摧毁更多人的幸福。这些无辜的受害者们因为你，而要承受多么巨大的痛。
And you act like you did nothing wrong, huh? I also just thought about how weird it is that you can relive life through like a dead person, like in the past.
还是你，你错了。
It's not. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
并不是我，我只是代为行动而已。
Right, that's what I figured.
什么意思？却都是我杀的。
Right, but he's not the one who has the thing out for
憎
them.
恨、妒忌，又或是愤怒，随便吧，反正都不是我的本意。而且，在这世上也没人能把我抓住，那我又有什么好顾忌的呢？是吗？
I think I'm misunderstanding it.
刘斌，快！果然是你。
干得不错，会再见面的。
Yeah.
到时候可别再耍赖了。
I'm gonna have to go back and reread what he says after this and think about it. He could just be fucking crazy, but
你们把他给逮着了，但这种做法可不鼓励。 通知我，
yeah.
我们也是才
We got the job done though. Who cares?
在一栋别墅的车库里找到了徐珊珊。
Well, we did tell her to keep us safe, you know.
是很在意艾玛那个案件，可以的话，能不能？
We're gonna bring it full circle and go back to the start. Is it just that he can't take his mind off the idea that it actually wasn't this guy who killed her, and he just really wants to know the truth?
记不得了，谁说的？你们问谁去？
徐珊珊是在你车库里发现的，你还敢说连环案凶手不是你？
如果我告诉你，这些都是我的一个朋友干的，你信不信？
什么？你还有同伙？
这个臭婆娘我倒是记得清清楚楚的。
I choked her the fuck out.
程小石，
Wow.
看不出来
Wow.
你还
Yeah.
不靠谱一回。
还好吧。杀害艾玛的凶手，会不会还另有？
Yeah, it's herself. Unfortunately.
艾玛生前的监控照片，如果
Can
你
you
看
look
看
through
能
it?
不能查明死因？
Gotta be honest this time, though.
气死！你去死啊！当时我吓
So,
坏了，
okay.
以为错手杀了人，还被谁给发现了？
I didn't even pick up on it in the moment he made a noise. But then he was able to disappear. Got it.
家里竟然空无一人，
And he thought he was going fucking crazy.
我怀疑自己是撞了。
Yeah.
我怎么听着你这还是在忽悠我？
Dude, he fooled himself. You don't even understand.
我着急忙慌上车，想把那个女人送去医院。但是
But then he got into an accident and hurt himself. And then she ran away.
让我下车！
走开！
让我下车！
So he crashed. He actually hurt himself in the process. She got hurt too.
之后我不省人事，
So did she not? Maybe she was just fucking bleeding out.
拜他所赐。艾玛的命运是因我而改变的， 所以明知不行，我也想要再试一次。
Why are they doing this with the music?
整死你们全家！
Forced to run away in this situation now. To do something. To the bridge. Completely hopeless at that point, I'm assuming.
这叫臭！
This is fashion.
等我长大去城里赚了钱，把你们从头到脚都按最潮的标准包装起来。
倒钩寡了。
是缺德游戏，
哎呀，
Same thing, yeah.
还只是个财务总监的助理。
婷婷都带走了，还管财务
So proud.
俺闺女有出息了。
被提拔了，喝杯酒感谢。
Yeah, shouldn't we at least celebrate in some sort of way? I don't like the pressure. I understand the sentiment, but always looking out for her in ways. To the bridge. This is where we meet our fate. It's been set in stone for a minute. No, he's gonna do it. Oh, I appreciate it, but like, it gets me nervous.
对不起，你今晚的不幸都是我造成的。有个人告诫过我，
It's a big thing to
不能改变过
carry.
去。当时我没听。我
I'm
自以
still
为
not
听你和
listening
叶如新
now.
消息能让你们更幸福。
怎么可能？你到底是谁？
我叫程小石，拥有通过照片魂穿到过去的能力。
It's not an easy thing to convince someone either.
不可以帮我回到最初，让一切从头。
That's why she does it like this.
那是在做假账，被发现是要
坐牢，儿子偷老子的钱，要坐牢。刘民这公子哥早被他爸断了经济来源，想让我帮他从他老爸那儿弄点零花钱。
Wow.
我也想回到过去，退还那些脏钱，拒绝姓朱的骚扰，重新开始新的人生。
经历过很多不同的人生，几乎每一段都会有所遗憾。每一次，即便我努力了，
Can't change any
一
of
定能得
them.
到完美的结果。
Doesn't mean that you should give up on it, though. I learned it from someone specific as well.
还你一个最好的过去，
But I can give you the
但
perfect
我更不能
future.
让你错失一个更好的未来。
Or better, at least.
我还哪有什么未来？
这都是我在那些努力活着的人生里学到的。有的人为爱坚守了一辈子，忘过，还有找回了丢掉的自我。
Yeah,
欢迎回来。
何为父？
he's learned so much from us.
一直长。
Some people find themselves waiting until they finally, yep.
也终于等到了一个答案。
Yep.
努力活着的理由。
Don't give up on it now.
即使会有身处黑暗的时候。
Can always get worse, dude. Pull yourself out. Pick your head up, look straight. There's always someone. And then the two people that bring light into your life.
但也终会遇见那些带着光的人。
Beautiful. Similar to how he's bringing it into you right now. He's the light.
精神分裂或者是多重人格呀？
That could be an
另一个人格
explanation.
当做了朋友。
不可能，医生都出证明了，说他精神情况良好。
Yeah, but they also said that his legs don't work, and they do.
证明他不是应该瘫了吗？
Yeah. We're gonna trust this doctor?
他是怎么跑进照相馆的？
朋友，过来，帮我把这些讨人厌的臭臭。
I have a lot of questions. Oh, this is gonna go bad.
死亡
是无法改变的重大节点。
你是在和程小时？
What are you doing?
没想到还会有目击者。
Person who's coordinating all of this.
人都已经瘫了，怎么还可能去做伤天害理的事啊？
该不会也是？
你是他的朋友吧？
你也是具有魂穿能力的人。天马。
And then he.
乔玲，
游戏重新开始。
Okay, what the fuck just happened here? Yeah, I really wanted to go into this having like a full-on proper discussion, thinking that we were gonna end things, you know, positively in a way, but maybe leave like a few like, oh, we could head down this route. Yeah, I think similarly to how I've handled the last few episodes, because those have been more of ones where I'm like, what's happening? Just gonna kind of speak what's on my mind, and then hopefully it makes sense. And when it probably doesn't, because it's probably nowhere close to being correct, you can give me your visions on kind of what happened, and if you think I'm off the mark or not, because nobody actually knows, I guess, because there is no season 2 yet until tomorrow. So let's see. So the first thing I want to bring up, there is another being who has similar powers to us. We don't know exactly what he can do, but he can possess people in some sorts of way. How he does this, I'm interested in, because our characters have to do specific things, such as viewing photos, such as the clapping of hands while viewing photos, holding a photo, like whatever the case might be, right? So how exactly do we possess somebody else? Do we need a photo of that person and then we can just enter them? No problem. Do we need to have a physical contact of some sort with that person at some point in time? Can it literally just be like a Death Note thing where they just need to have a vision of them in their head and then they can be like, okay, and make it work? I don't know. So that's curious to me. Next, I don't believe Blonde Boy is the actual villain then in the situation, right? He is what was the word they used? Like a puppet or a plant or whatever it was. And he is somebody who we're kind of using as the, hey, look at this popular guy who has this other stuff kind of going on, and people are going to kind of throw shade at him online and talk shit and do all of this type of stuff. I can use him to throw all the blame on him and get some suspicion on him, but it's not him at all. Also, I can use him because clearly he has a fascination with getting this money and doing all this stuff. I can use him in ways to kind of help progress the goals and motives that I have. Motives being another concern. What exactly is this other guy's motives? What is he trying to do? What is his purpose? What is his reasons for what exactly he's doing? It makes me wonder. I'm also rather confused by the showing of the two different versions of the blonde guy. And I'm saying two different versions because we're seeing one of them like inside in his pajamas, laying down, drinking in the middle of the day, you know, like stuff like that. And the other one's like in jail. So like, were they just showing us like, oh, this was him during the episode, and then when they showed him like in the house or whatever later on, they're like, oh, this is him way later. But the other version is paralyzed basically, right? But it also, the paralyzed stuff makes sense to me because we had a similar situation with the glasses, which I brought up a couple times because I thought that that would probably be relevant. The fact that we can take over somebody's body and then we kind of retain our own sort of attributes and abilities in some sort of way, such as our basketball ability, such as our vision, such as like things like that. We can retain our own stuff, our strength in a way, right? Being able to beat up that lady when we were the child, right? It literally had, I mean, it had to do with the idea that we learned from the master and the dojo thing that we went to, right? And did all of that. But it also has to do with the fact that we probably still retain all of our strength and stuff within the other person's body. So I think that makes perfect sense here where Buddy is paralyzed, but when he is possessed by this other guy who's the real villain in the situation, the Red Eyes guy, we are essentially regaining our strength in our legs and our ability to do this, so we can kind of use this guy as our puppet in a way to kind of dictate the direction that we're headed and what exactly he's doing, and that's really fucking cool. It's crazy how quick he can do that, but they also showed us, I mean, earlier this episode with us being able to specifically go in and out of these pictures like rapidly like that, and there's no real limit on it besides doing it at one time. So I guess it makes sense that Buddy was able to go into these things and possess people and do all of this. But it's even crazier actually to think about he can go back in the previous timelines and do stuff. So that's fucking nuts to me. It makes me wonder how long he's been aware of us and what our goals are and who we are as people. Has he played parts in the previous arcs? The previous stories and things that we've done? Has he been involved in certain situations, but we just haven't been able to actually notice or know what he's changed and things like that? Really leaves you kind of curious. And I really would like to fucking know. I can't really keep my head straight right now, so I'm just gonna skip through the episode a bit and then pick things up as we go along. I think that'll be a bit easier for me to kind of do. Open up just explaining everything, the situation, the bet and the deal that we make with each other, which works out perfectly. And then we trap Buddy in the room and we get into a really fun fight with him, being able to clap and go in and out of these things and then be able to attack him, show him all the things that he's done, all the people that he's affected based on the people that he killed. I really like the way that they kind of did it and they framed this whole situation and presented all of this. I think it was really, really fucking cool. And I absolutely loved it. They did this for the first like 10 or so minutes. And then we start talking about like, yeah, I was the one who killed all of them, but I'm not the one who killed them in a way. I don't know what exactly he says. I'm just an agent, like as in I'm just a hired person in the situation to do this. Yeah, I killed all of them, but like I'm not the one who like really has it out or any issue with them, or like I don't care enough to do it. I'm just doing this for my own gain in some sort of way. Sure, I don't gain anything by seeing them dead, but I gain other stuff elsewhere, right? As if he has reason for doing what he's doing. Even in this moment though, is he being possessed? I don't actually know. I mean, I'm assuming that, well, no, he has the eyes, so he probably is. And he talks about that nobody can catch him in this world, and, you know, he's invincible, all this kind of stuff, which is absolutely hilarious to me, because, I mean, it makes a lot more sense as we fully understand now. But it's also interesting, he didn't understand how the power works, and now he fully has a realization of how that stuff works. Fucking cool. This guy seems like he might be a little OP for what exactly we're trying to do. Then we arrest him, and all, you know, normal shit goes down from there. We talk about the situation a little bit, because even here he doesn't have red eyes here, but he had them in that exact moment we were, so this isn't his possessed version, and that's why he's like, dude, I have no memory of all this. He's talking about his friend. Like, that makes perfect sense, actually, now that I think. A lot of this is kind of connecting and working perfectly here. The Emma thing really confused them, and he really wanted to go into this moment and be able to figure out, I believe in this moment the blonde guy's actually himself. He is not our red-eyed villain over here, and he's strangling Emma specifically because he is pissed about the things that happened with, I believe the boss is his dad, right? So he's pissed about that and her knowing too much regarding the money and all that. So all that's starting to make a bit more sense there. And then he hears Buddy in the trunk as he was in this timeline. So then when he goes to check it, he actually claps out before he can. So he has the opportunity to let Emma get away, but instead he just starts driving her away because he, you know, she knows too much. He can't just let her go. Ultimately gets into an accident. He completely gets fucked up, goes straight paralyzed. While he still is himself in the situation, Emma runs away, and we see a lot of sad, really flashbacks, seeing the connection that she has with her family, the things that she's gone through in her past, the important moments in her life and all of this, and how it kind of relates and results back. She's a completely broken person at this point with nothing to go for, gives up on everything, wants to jump off the cliff, wants to kill herself at this point. The original belief, she killed herself in the first timeline, the start of the series, got changed through a little thing that we kind of did, but still same node of her dying at the end of the day. We switch back here. She ends up killing herself in the present, this other timeline here. But now we are back again to kind of prohibit that from happening. We know we can't change nodes. But we later find out we changed the node in a way. So it makes you wonder, was there even really a node in this situation? Curious thing to kind of keep an eye on. Before we get more into that, though, I want to talk specifically about the altercation that we have here, such as the discussion of her being like saying things that she has nothing left and wants to start a new life in a way, and then him having to kind of present the ideas to her, being like, there's so much for you out there, and you might think you're at the fucking bottom, but you're never at the bottom unless you're fucking dead. So we'll look forward to tomorrow, because even though it might get continuously worse for another day, another year, another 15 years, one of these days there might be some light that appears in your life. There might be some people and some encounters and interactions and stuff that can happen over time, and you can meet people or experience things that truly change your course of outcome and change it for the better in ways. Certain people are so determined to kind of find that and be able to refine themselves again when you get lost. I think this line here is perfect to kind of explain that. And you finally end up getting the answer that you wait for so long. Able to see these two reconnected is really, really cute. And I'm very happy that was able to happen there. This line too, even though there are times when we find ourselves in the darkness, eventually we'll meet people who shine their light on us, and him specifically seeing the two people who have impacted him the most in his life and are so important for him, as we see him reach out with the light kind of shining on him, displaying who he really is, the light to Emma, trying to drag her and pull her out of this. And then in this exact moment, things are about to go fucking good. Wow, we changed a node? How does that happen? You can't possibly do that. Really gets me curious, and I don't even know how to present the guessing idea of where this is going to kind of be. But it's more of like, that wasn't even the situation. Like, it doesn't matter if Emma lived or died, I guess. Or no, I guess it does. And maybe that was the node, but maybe the nodes are things that like easily can be crossed, but we just have to be careful not to. And because we end up breaking the rules by trying to cross it there, shit goes bad. And Buddy is kind of realizing it. See, this is the second version of him talking about. We're talking about him in the police station, and now he's just drunk here. So was this in the police station, and then now this is just him when he gets home? I don't actually know. Anyways, everybody starts being like, what the fuck is going on? I don't even understand. And then we see Emma get possessed, taken over by the Red Eye, and the guy's like, basically he's ensuring that she dies in the situation. He needs her gone, and everybody's like, what the fuck's happening? And trying to panic and pick everything back up together. Emma kills herself, but he starts strangling himself, and then this whole scene happens, and our buddy fucking Lu Guang dead, and I'm not happy in the slightest. And I don't know how to feel. This is such a good cliffhanger. It's such a good cliffhanger, but for a full season, that's crazy. That's so good though. I love shit like this. I hate people who want happy endings all the time. I want fucking misery. I want people to be in pain and sad and die. That's what I want. I love stories like that. I love when they do shit like this and they're like, all right, wait 3 years or 2 years or whatever to figure out what happens next. That's so fucking, especially there's no source material. You can't go read shit. That's so cool. What's the aftermath of all this gonna be like? Like, how's everybody gonna react when she snaps out of this and is no longer possessed? Oh fuck, I was the one who killed him, right? Like, what? How do you react in that situation? Also being able to see one of your two best friends kill your other best friend, like, what? How do you react? I don't even know how to take these situations. It's so fucked. It's so fucked. There's so much that goes into this, and I'm really interested. And I'm assuming the whole next season is specifically just following us along and trying to figure out who's behind this and get away from them and stuff. So we might not actually do so many of these personal stories anymore, which might take a lot of the charm away from the show. Leave some concerns there for sure. But man, did things get really interesting here, to the point that like it might be okay to go in that direction. There's a lot I need to figure out next season too, specifically. I think that really needs to be presented because they didn't put it in this one. And I don't think there's anything wrong with not putting it in this one, but I think we're at a point now where we have to, because we fleshed out the characters a decent amount so far. And we have to specifically touch on the powers that everybody has, because there is another user with them now, and the origins behind where they kind of come from. Did they all get them from the same place? Were they all just born with them? Did something happen? Did an event happen? Did they take them from like how does this happen, right? I think that's something that needs to be touched on. Is this guy who has this thing, was he has the other power? Is he somebody who was friends with us and like one of us before in the past? Did we meet him at some other point? Do we already know him? Was he introduced at this point in the story already? I don't know. leaves me rather curious how exactly this could all kind of unfold. Definitely many more questions, but I gotta rewatch and think about it a bit more. I'd rather just hear what everybody else has to say. Okay, I've been talking about that for a while. Regarding the season as a whole, I'm not gonna go too in depth with this. Actually, I don't have a lot of time, so I'll go pretty quick. Phenomenal. That's literally one of the words to kind of just describe this. It is a unique take, in my opinion, on the way that we express and do time travel stories, and makes it really, really good. I think we are able to introduce a story that has supernatural and just superpowers and all these other things going on, all these fun elements, but at the same exact time introduce brilliantly crafted stories that are very personal, that are very real. People can kind of get emotionally attached to characters and things within them and relate and self-insert themselves in ways, and kind of express their own feelings and feel the same things as them. And I think it is a excellent way of doing it, and does it better than some shows do entirely throughout developing an entire story and getting people attached or connected. And they can do it better in one episode to one arc in this entire thing. And I think that's fascinating how fucking excellent that is. I think the production is fantastic in this. I don't think the animation is the most spectacular thing in the world, but it's very pleasing the way it looks. The art itself isn't also as fascinating for certain ways. It's not the most spectacular thing, but it definitely has its moments. For the most part, when they want to show off, they can show off. When they want things to really hit and look good, it will. When it's not as important and it's more of just like, oh, we're setting things up till you get to one of those moments, it'll look kind of average-ish, right? And I think that's okay. I'd much rather them really make the good moments shine than make the entire thing quality, but not be able to make the entire thing like have its peak moments, if that makes sense. So I'm perfectly okay with the way that they do that. So I really like that. I think the soundtrack for this is fucking phenomenal. The opening's amazing. The ending's amazing. All the insert songs that they have are fantastic. Just everything about the soundtrack itself is fantastic. It's excellent. The overall production behind this is great, and I'm happy that the scriptwriters and the director and everybody who else is who's involved in this seem to have a very clear vision of what they're trying to do, and are very passionate about it, and I love that. The characters in the story, I don't necessarily say I love them in any sort of way. I think they all have unique, fun little personality things, but for the most part, they're like pretty standard. I don't think any of them are like overly unique in really any aspect. I think some of them are a bit more grounded, a bit more easy to kind of feel for and understand. And I think that's a good thing. But I don't think that they're like the most unique characters. So other things within this can kind of, such as like the powers and stuff, kind of make them a bit more interesting and unique that they are. The development for the characters outside of the black hair guy wasn't really very good. I feel like we didn't really touch on any of them. But I mean, I guess that's okay if they're setting all that up for the second season. That can also be fine. But I don't feel like we have enough substance and stuff regarding all the characters. It was nice. We did slowly get some stuff about the relationship that they all kind of built up over the years towards the back end. So I think that was cool. But I do think I wish I would like to understand the characters a bit more and their motives for kind of who they are and what they are, and find some more value within them. I think that would be cool, because I think we really only got that out of one. And I mean, I guess we got that out of some within the individual stories because they were primarily focused on them in ways, but for the main cast to follow them, I feel like we really didn't develop them enough for me to really be like, they're great, you know what I mean? So far, okay. But yeah, the character designs are fantastic though. Even like the one-off characters that we introduce all look pretty good and really unique, but I like our main three, and I think they all look really good, so I'm a big fan of that. Well, I do think there's moments in the show that can kind of drag a little bit or feel a bit slower. I think that the highs are so high that they kind of outweighs it. The cliffhangers are so fantastic and get you so hype and wanting to keep coming back for more that it makes it even better. And just the stories that they are crafted around, despite if some of them have to take a little bit longer to develop or go a little bit slower, whatever the direction is for that, they tend to work themselves out. And it might take a couple minutes of you feeling like not much is really happening for you to kind of get to a point where you start feeling like things are happening and you can start connecting. But I think that at the end of the day, that works out and makes a lot of sense. And I think that's a brilliant choice for them to kind of go for. So unless you're somebody who's sitting here and is like, I need things to happen every moment of this thing, which most people aren't. So I think that's okay. If I were to rate this, I'd probably give it mid to high 9. I'll give myself some wiggle room there. So I guess between 9.5 and 9.75, probably between there. Once again, that's something that changes over the days, weeks, months, years. It always happens. Can go up, can go down. But I think this was fantastic. I think there's more that can be done within the story to elevate it even further. I'm also not somebody who gives out like no, this is perfect 10 like all the time. Also, just so people are aware, so you don't get like angry if you completely disagree with that. I've only given out like 7 total ever, so you know that's kind of not a thing I do often. But a high 9 is absolutely fantastic. This would be the second best thing I've watched this year. Only if Vinland Saga Season 2 didn't air, even though this didn't come out this year. But it's probably the second best thing that I've seen all year so far. And it's the best thing that I've seen that has come out in a previous year, this year, if that makes sense, because I haven't really watched a lot from other stuff. Phenomenal. That's all I can really say. Very happy I did this. Very happy I kind of sped along a bit quicker than I usually do on the channel, at least. Very excited to see what's going to come next. Very excited for Season 2. That starts tomorrow. I will be here. The video will probably be up Friday. But I might have time tomorrow, and I actually just fixed my internet because it was terrible before. So honestly, I might be able to get the video up same day, but no promises on that. So if that's the case, maybe Friday probably. Season 2 will start here. Hopefully I see you there. Please, though, leave any comments, what you thought about this, what you're theorizing, what you're expecting going into Season 2. What are you excited for? What are you not excited for? What are you hoping for? Just literally anything. What you thought about this episode, the way that they ended it, the way they presented the entire season, just literally anything regarding the show, let me know. I'd love to read it. Once again, thank you very much for everybody who joined. We had a lot of people join the channel here and interact and like the videos and everything, and it really does mean a lot to me, so thank you very much for that. I'll be back probably tomorrow after you're seeing this for Season 2 of Link Click, which I'm very excited for. You guys have a good one. See ya.